Welcome to the Utah Football Fans Podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share. And as always, go Utes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Utah Football Fans Podcast. Welcome to Family Home Evening.
To all the Zoobs, since Cougar Board's with us tonight,
It's Monday.
would you like to give us the opening prayer?
We just sang an opening song before we started. Before we got on, we sang Jesus Wants Me for a Sunbeam. And
It's true.
James was going to give us the thought and scripture, but maybe we'll save that for
Grant,
later.
you've got the scripture. You've been in the chat for the last 25 minutes. Scripture's on you.
It's on you. We're waiting.
Okay, well, welcome. Again, we're so glad to have you all here. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up button and go ahead and subscribe. And if you would like, we'd love to have you on all of our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Follow along. Subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And of course, super chat, super thanks. We'd love to have it. We want to start off tonight by thanking all of our veterans. Absolutely. It's Veterans Day today. Thank you so much to all of you who have served our country or who are currently serving our country. Massive thanks to everyone. Shout out to all of you.
This hat.
Great
You
hat.
see that? You can see the
Eagles and Angels. Look it up.
It's, yeah.
You can see the flag. That is a uniform from a spec op guy from the GWAT.
Yeah, so they donate their uniform, and their actual uniform, and then this company takes it, will cut it up and put it behind the flag. It's very, very cool.
So, I mean, it's Veterans Day and it just rolls by and we don't, often we don't think about it.
Mhm.
And the unbelievable sacrifice. And we hear the cliche, which it shouldn't be a cliche, but that freedom isn't free, that these men and women put themselves out there on the front line in harm's way and do stuff that we would never do.
No. So
And
thank you.
experience horrific
Thank you.
things. And so, yeah, it's a very significant, important day. So, thanks to all the vets.
I
And
wish we would have had a flyover on Saturday.
I
And
wish
what
they would have
they're
made a
doing.
bigger deal about it.
Yeah.
change that over.
They kind of didn't make a big deal about it. I'm with you.
No, they kind of didn't. They did the flag thing at halftime, but that was kind of it. Anyways, we're gonna start tonight by telling you about BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. It's a lot of things that you can bet on. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
But Zoobs, you can't do that. So stay away from that vice.
No. Yeah, we're not promoting that on family night.
Yes, we
Oh, not that. Okay. I'm gonna start. Listen to what I'm saying, everybody. There were a number of reasons we lost on Saturday night. I'm gonna repeat it, and I'm gonna repeat it again probably later on. There were a number of reasons that we lost. Okay. So
you should. Any increase, Parker, even in gambling, you owe 10%.
Is that true?
okay.
I'm
Don't ask him those kinds of questions.
Is that true?
James.
I think that's true. Zoobs.
I genuinely don't know.
I think that's true.
There's plenty of them in here.
I know. So I think if you win on your gambling, Zoobs,
Make sure
You
you're
do have to
paying
pay your
your 10%. Okay.
Go girl, we just said the bands did something at halftime. I didn't forget that it happened. I'm saying that's the only thing they did for Veterans Day. I wish they would have done more things. No, I love the where they bring the flag out and all of that. I love it. But I would have liked more. Anyways, okay. We're gonna talk about the game.
Obviously.
Like I just said, there was a number of reasons that we didn't win, which sucks. So we rushed for 147 yards, which our average is like 150. So that was about.
Which was really surprising that we were that number. I got to be honest. It felt like we ran for more than that.
Yeah. So it was just 147.
Yeah.
We passed for 112 yards. So that's a problem. So we only had 212 yards of offense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great.
So that's reason number 1, I would say, as to why we lost.
Okay. Yeah.
Special teams. Why can we not kick it out of the end zone
I don't know.
on a kickoff?
It's really frustrating because I mean, every other team that comes in here, I mean, Southern Utah's kicker was putting it 8 yards deep into the end zone.
Yeah.
And we just can't do it. I don't know. It's very bizarre.
So special teams, that was an issue with the kickoff touchdown return that they had. So to me, that was reason number 2. Reason number 3 was our turnovers, the interceptions.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Rose only threw the 1, and Whittingham addressed that today. It was a miscommunication.
Yeah, it was
Someone
awful.
ran the wrong route, so that doesn't help. Right?
It
The
was
first
kinda
one
more on the
was
receiver there.
frustrating because it's the play call, and it's a receiver throwing the ball downfield. I don't understand the play call, honestly. So, yeah, you lost a turnover battle. So, yeah.
Gary's not even, I mean, this is weird. He's just like staring at me.
Now, Gary Singer's, I was just looking, his son is in the U.S. Army, 15 years, Green Beret, Special Forces,
Jeez.
Ranger, Airborne. Right on. Appreciate it, Gary. Appreciate him.
Man, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
It's fantastic.
Huge thanks to your son. I mean, for me, the biggest thing was just we had no offense that entire second half.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Because the first half, it was like, holy cow, like we could do some stuff here.
Yeah.
And then it just completely shut down. And I don't feel like they were doing anything different or special. I just, for whatever reason, just went away. So yeah, scoring 0 points in the second half, that's not ideal.
It wasn't even like that we scored 0 points. It was like, did we even
Get close.
cross midfield in the second half? Like it was ridiculous. Just the difference between the first half, we come out, we were actually moving the ball, we score, it's exciting, and then it just was completely stale the whole second half. And I know Whittingham has mentioned it a couple times that he doesn't think it was the play call, that he doesn't feel like they went too conservative. I don't know. It was the execution of the plays.
I don't know.
I mean, I haven't rewatched any of it, so I'm only basing off of what I saw in the stadium, but it was just frustrating.
Yeah. No, and you're right. We could not come up with the big turnover when we needed it. Well, there was plenty of opportunities. I mean, they fumbled the ball twice, once on their red zone and then once on like our 5-yard line. We couldn't get either one of those. There was a number of times the ball got tipped up in the air. We just were one step away. So we just could not come up with that big play that changes the momentum of the game. And so, yeah, you're right. The turnovers, not scoring in the second half. I didn't realize that the yards were that low in the game. I didn't realize that it was that bad. And then there were a couple of times where we're on kind of that cusp of field goal range, and we either lose yards or get none. And then we punted from their 40 at one point. And just kind of those things, it just felt like I disagree with Whittingham. It got very conservative. It got to say that he doesn't think that the offense played too conservative. No, there was no creativity. It was very much so, oh, it's 3rd and 6. Okay, we're just going to, nothing's crazy. We're going to run the ball and punt it to him. And it wasn't enough. I mean, you get one score in the second half, you win the game. So you can't muster up one possession to get down the field and kick a field goal even?
Apparently not.
You know?
Especially because we had done it the first half.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing, is things were clicking. I felt like spark was happening. Now we had the turnover in the first half, the interception, which that was such a weird play. I mean, who was it that threw it? I can't even remember the receiver who threw it. And he threw it to Bernard, and Bernard got kind of hurt on that. I don't know. It was just like, it wasn't there, it got picked off. And then again, second half just died. You think they were just playing prevent?
Yeah, Alford. That's who it was.
Oh, Alford threw it.
Good arm. Had some nice spin on it. I'll give it that. Just you don't
Throw it
throw it
into,
in
like,
like
triple
freaking
coverage.
triple
I
coverage.
mean,
That's
that
a
was the
problem. But other
thing.
than that, he threw a good ball.
I know.
Well, for me, it's simple. What's different about this game than every other game? We win this game with an average offense, average to good offense. We blow them out.
Yeah, average offense. The
This
defense.
is, this is why we've lost every game.
Mhm.
The defense is superior.
Yeah, they
We're
scored
really good,
They scored one offensive touchdown
and the
entire game.
offense is suck.
Yeah.
And that's the reason it showed up in this. Props for the first half. We scored 21. Yeah, it's weird, but you know what? The offense became what it's been all year. So for me, it's like, okay, deja vu.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but you say deja vu, except that we actually did stuff in the first half. That was more. That was more than we've done in the last 6 weeks.
well, yeah, and everyone was actually surprised by it.
I was shocked by it.
And it was
Right.
fantastic.
So then why
Freak,
go?
man.
What happened?
And then what
Why-
happened? Why did it then go back to being?
I
the
don't
whole-
know.
I know. You
I'm
don't
just
know. I'm just
saying.
No,
saying.
damn it, Gary. Why did it?
Jeez. All I'm saying is
Oh,
what we've
coach.
seen all freaking year. That's to me, that's what's most frustrating. And I'll say it. I've been saying it. I don't care what the Zoobs say. Is if Utah would have had an average offense
Yeah.
to a good, we would run the freaking league.
Well, a good offense. Yeah,
That's what I'm
We
saying.
have the best defense in the conference, paired with
We've
the worst
lost
offense in the
games
conference.
against top, excellent teams, good teams,
Good teams.
and it's because our defense kept us in it. It was our offense. We've only been averaging, what was it, been 16 points a game?
Mhm.
Oh, right. We got 21.
Well-
The Zoobs have been averaging 35 or something like that a game. Their offense scored 15.
So let me just. Yeah.
I'm just saying, hey, yeah, I can't believe we didn't get any points, but hey, it's been the offense the whole time. It's been crap, and it came to bite us again in the end. That's
is-
it for me. It's the story of the season.
Yeah. Well,
It's not
and
the whole team.
we talk about the defense every game. I feel really bad for our defense.
Really, Infamous?
Okay.
Talk to me. You know it all.
I feel super bad for our defense because they are having amazing games and then our offense is letting them down. So defensively, Retzlaff's QBR was 39.5
That's fantastic.
on Saturday.
Exactly. We kicked his butt.
When in his previous games, he's had a QBR of 86.8 against UCF, 72.8 against Oklahoma State, 55.2 against Arizona, and 80.5 against Baylor. And so we held him to a 39.5 QBR. So that shows you right there what our defense did to him. Now we held them to 120 rushing yards. Their average is 163. And then we held them to 219 passing yards, which their average is 239. So
But
not huge differences, but so they had 339 total yards of offense. They averaged 402.
But the biggest thing is they didn't score points. They scored one offensive touchdown, the stupid kick return for a touchdown, put it in the damn end zone. We've been saying that for the last 4 seasons. So that's extremely frustrating, especially after the momentum. And then they just run it back because I don't know if it's coached that way. I don't know. And you're right. It's copy paste from so many other games where we're Houston's the exact same situation where
Put that one up.
No. Keep going. We also, to your
What?
point, we also held them 2 or 3 times. We made goal line stands where they were like on the 5-yard line, the 10, the 15-yard line, and we didn't let them in the end zone. So again, our defense is doing their jobs and they're doing it very, very well. And it has gotten lost in the fact that our team sucks. No, it's the offense sucks. And it's not that everybody sucks. It's just
there were
it's
flashes too.
not.
There were moments
No.
when Keithy was healthy, didn't get hurt. He looked good. They got the ball to Singer. Bernard looked good. There were moments that was like, oh, okay. And then when Rose would run the ball at select moments, it looked serviceable. And then the wheels fell off.
Anything
Okay.
else you want to say before we get into the good stuff that everyone's here for?
Sure, let's do it.
Well, yeah, we are going to talk about it because, hello, of course we're going to talk about it. But let me just repeat again, now that you've joined us for family night. Again, welcome, Zoobies. We're here for family home evening. We're all going to talk
Put your
about it.
scripture up if you'd like,
Yeah. What's your favorite scripture?
or a conference talk.
There's some really good ones about don't have
humility.
don't have contention and things you post online. Anyways,
Words matter. That was a good one from April
that's a
of
great one.
2024. You might want to look that one up. A few of you. Just saying.
Again, what I will say, and we just talked about it, there were a number of reasons we lost that game. There was many reasons why we lost that game. So I'm not saying, I don't know what you're saying. I'm not saying we lost because of the referees. It's never on one play. It's never that. I've always said that. I don't believe that a game comes down to one play. But what happened was BS. I'm going to say it. You can disagree with me. That's fine. I think it was BS. And the reason is, for my reasoning, they're going to give theirs. My reasoning is they didn't call that the whole game. The whole game, they weren't calling that stuff. They were letting them play. They were letting that stuff happen the entire game. And then on 4th and 10 to decide the game, that's when they throw the flag. That's where I'm at. To me, that's where the emotion comes in, the disappointment, the anger, the frustration, everything. That's where I'm going to start. I'm going to let you two now say what you want. And we're going to have a lot to say about this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the exact same way. Now, I disagree. Utah, with all how terrible we played, with all the crap, not scoring a point in the second half, offense being inept, all those things, Utah played and enough to win the game. 0 points the entire second half, still did enough to win the game. Okay? Joel Klatt talked about it today. If you disagree with us and you think we're idiots, which I'm going to get a bunch of you
think.
Fine, you think we're idiots. Go listen to a guy like Joel Klatt who knows what the hell he's talking about, and he'll say the exact same thing. It's the lack of consistency. There was one defensive hold / pass interference the entire game. You cannot sit here and tell me
In the first quarter.
and it was in the first quarter. You can't tell me that this stuff wasn't going on the entire game, because guess what? I was there, saw it in person. There was battling on both sides. Both sides. Our corners were doing it to them. Their corners were doing it to us. It was how the game was being played. And then on 4th down, when the game is over, it is over. It's a game-deciding flag. Now, they still have to drive the field. Fine. You don't throw that flag unless it is egregious. I've seen 1,000 replays that all seem to be filmed on like an iPhone 2, by the way. What's up with that?
Well, it seems like there was only one camera.
Camera angle.
From what I've seen people say, there was like one camera angle that was shown on TV, and that was it. And so then the rest of what we've seen is just people filming it with their cell phones, which is so strange to me. How did they not have one other camera angle? Anyways.
So that's, to me, unless it is an absolute, there's no brainer. This call is not that. This call is up for debate. Was it a hold? Maybe. Sure. No. No one knows, but that exact play went on all game. All game. He gets sacked, and then the flag came out, by the way.
Well, that's, so again.
The Zoobs are in here just in delusion land.
I know. That's the thing, is like, look.
They can't even be honest about it.
Be honest about it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's what's pathetic.
Listen to what Joel Klatt talked about. And we posted it on our Instagram. You can find it. That's exactly what he said, is the referees had established the way that they were going to call the game. They'd established it the whole game. They hadn't called one defensive holding on Utah the entire game, and they called one on BYU in the first quarter.
I'm going to quote real quick a cornerback who played in the NFL for several years on this. Okay. His quote was, "I was standing right on the sideline. You absolutely cannot call that. The receiver slipped on his counter step," which no one here that's talking
Zoobs aren't going to
knows what the hell that even means. So, yeah, we don't know ball, but this guy does. On his counter step and got back outside the DB. Can't help that at all. So he slips. The ref bails him out on a 4th and 10 on a play that happened for 58 and a half minutes in that game. Throws the flag. The game was over.
For me, that's the bigger thing. You can debate all day long if it was a holding, if it wasn't. But again, the referees had established that they let that stuff go on the entire game. That's how they were letting the players play the whole game, the entire game. So you establish that, and then 4th and 10, when it's the game-winning play,
Game's over.
the
If they don't
game's
throw the
over,
flag.
and that's when you throw it. And
That's why it's
one
bull
time,
crap.
the one time,
One
time,
flag on Utah.
One flag.
4th and 10. Game on the line.
the one
and
defensive holding
it
call the
wasn't
entire
even
game.
obvious
Give me a
because
break.
everyone's bitching about
Give
it.
me a break.
And everyone knows it. And so if the Zoobs would just say, yeah,
Just
we
be honest
get it.
about it. Go, yeah, we got a lucky call.
And be honest about the fact that
Freak, man.
if it
It's
was
so
your
stupid.
team, hey Zoobs, you know that compassion thing that you're supposed to have? Put yourself in other people's shoes. Think about it for a second. If it had happened to your team, you stop this team 4 downs in a row, 4th and 10, the game's over, and then this happens to your team. I'm sorry. Any team in the country, any fan base would lose their minds,
Yeah.
just like we all
Especially
did.
after the phantom timeout that the game was over.
I didn't see that one. I don't know.
The timeout thing, the thing that bugs me with the timeout, again, we were in the stadium. I haven't rewatched it, so I don't know. From what I've heard, yes, Kalani signaled the timeout. It's the referees did not signal the play dead. Why didn't the ref run out there and do this? Because supposedly he fumbled his whistle or people couldn't hear the whistle. So why was he not running? The play went on for 10 seconds.
Yeah. There was a point that was made, and I agree with it completely. And I said this today. Obviously, this was the topic of conversation at work, right? If that call is not made, the sack happens, stadium erupts. There's not a single person that is clipping that play and going, this should have been called. Not a single person.
No, but it's
Because
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous to think
Make
that is an egregious foul that has to be called. I'm all for penalties that have to be called. But if you are going to call it in the 4th quarter, you better be calling it in the 1st and 2nd and 3rd,
So
and they weren't.
Utah plays that way. They played the whole game.
For the whole season.
That's how they play. And so it comes down to the last play, 4th and 10, win or lose, or win the game on that play. And this guy decides to call what's been going on for the rest
the whole
of the game.
game.
Well,
Bull shiz, and
you
we all
made-
know it. And Zoobs are a bunch of losers because they can't acknowledge it.
But you made a good
Honestly.
point. It was both sides were
Both
playing
sides.
that way.
That's
Both
fine.
sides.
I prefer it that way.
Well,
Let 'em play freaking ball.
That's the thing. And Whittingham has talked about it, that Big 12 refs
Oh,
call it less than
Be
we're
more
used
original
to
than that,
in the
Sid.
Pac-12.
no kidding.
Both teams were
That's
playing
weak.
that way.
That's
That's
weak.
the
That's weak.
point. That's the point. Is it had been established that that's
So
how they were
pathetic.
letting people play the whole game.
Yep.
The entire game. So then it comes down to that. So that's how we feel about it.
I'll say this, though, real quick. I don't know where you're going, but that call sucked. The worst call was the offensive holding when we had the ball on Landon King.
3rd and 1.
3rd and 1. We get the first down, and there's a holding call. I watched that replay a dozen times. I can't find a holding on that call.
He didn't hold it. He wasn't even in the. He wasn't
even there.
in the play. The main part of the play.
We got the first down.
We run the
We
clock.
run the clock out because they have one timeout left. And a phantom holding. Now, that one to me is getting overshadowed because of the other one. But I've watched that play and I can't find a holding.
But-
I can't even find a shadow of a hold where you kind of went, I can see what. There's nothing there.
But you're gonna find this is the point. You're gonna find calls like that all game long. You're gonna find ones that don't feel like they should be called, ones that don't get called that should have been. You're gonna find that everywhere all game long. You could call holding on every single play in a football game. Every single one, you could find something.
And they
or
didn't.
you could manifest it and find, if you're looking hard enough, you're going to call it whatever.
And they didn't.
It's that they didn't the whole game until that.
It's 3rd and 1. We got a first down. We go win the game there. And then it becomes
3rd and 11.
3rd and 11. We had to punt, and it led to all of this.
Right.
We get the first down. We run the clock out. So, yeah. It's just a bummer. We scored another 10 points in the second half. We win. But the reality of it is, Retzlaff was sacked before he even had a chance to see what was
Reed was
downfield.
in his lap before the play was
He
even
wasn't
developed.
even looking. He had no time to look. He was done. It was over. Game, set, and match. And some guy threw a bogus flag. That's it. It's a bummer.
It's been interesting to me. Obviously, everybody's heard and saw Harlan's quote after the game. It's been interesting to me to see the debate on that. So it's like this game, you've got everyone pissed off about the flag and the debate and all of that. And then you've got everyone pissed off and debating about Harlan's remarks. And him calling out the referees at the end of the game. I am not a huge fan of Harlan. I've not really ever been. I have some issues with him. However, I appreciate that he did it. That's how I feel. I am so sick and tired of the referees getting protected, and you can't say anything about them.
Don't you dare say a bad
I'm going to
thing.
get fined probably for saying this, but it's such bullcrap. Everybody talks about transparency. We need more transparency. We need injury reports. We need to know this about this and this and this about this player and what the coaching staff does. Everyone calls for that all the time, and yet we get zero transparency as far as officiating and reffing goes. You should be able to criticize this stuff without getting fined.
I thought it was great.
I like that he called him out because
I wish more people would do it.
I think more people should do it, and I think it should be allowed. And the refs should have to answer for this crap. They should have to explain themselves. It's not going to change things because they can't go back and change the outcome of a game, but they should have to answer for this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm crying about
Yeah,
it.
there's so, I swear,
I'm
got
so
eighth
confused.
graders.
I'm so confused why, like, it's
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong when I'm saying that that referees should be held accountable for stuff. It's not just this one call.
Here's the interesting thing. I put out on X today. Or was it yesterday? I can't remember now. I feel like the refs should be accountable. That they should have to go sit up and have a press conference.
Yes.
Just like players have to eat when they play like
players,
crap,
coaches, yeah.
or they make a play. They have to sit at the table and get questioned
An
about
answer.
why they did what they did and get all the information. Why do these
They're
guys
protected.
are a protected class? They run off the field, never to be heard of again until next game they do something stupid.
And there's never
It's
any
not fair. But here's what I'm saying is, yeah, there was people that a lot of people agreed with me. But what I find weird is the most of people that disagreed with me were Zoops.
Of course they did.
It has
because
nothing to do with this
It has
game.
nothing to do with this.
It has
game.
to do with every one of us know that the refs screw somebody at some point.
Yeah.
Every one of our teams.
Every team's been screwed
But
and
if a
hosed.
coach says something,
Yep.
the AD says something,
Player
a
says
player
something.
says something, suspended, fined, all of that stuff. I just feel like this is ridiculous. If you're going to go out there and have such a huge impact on football games, this was a major impact on a win and a loss.
Yeah, this is the only thing people are talking about.
Those freaks should be at that table, and people ought to be there and say exactly what we said. You have not called that one time on Utah the whole game except there, and we've looked at that play, and that play happened almost every play.
Yeah.
In the
I
game.
watched Singer get
I
absolutely
want to hear the
demolished.
loser say why.
Why is this the one time you decided to call it? And if he's got a great explanation,
But they ought to
I
be
would
accountable
love
to
to hear it.
Not just
But if
walk
you
out.
say that and you get fined $40,000.
Yeah, so that's all. You know,
It's I'm with you, and I feel the same way.
refs.
It's not just this game. It's not just the Big 12. It's not even just college football. I want that accountability for officials across the board.
Mhm.
This is not this game. We've been saying this for a long time. This is not because of this call. This call just highlights
just
everything.
Shows
Just
it again.
exasperated.
There's
Yeah.
no reason that they can't sit. They're getting paid a lot of money and have a massive impact on every single football game. So they should have to sit down and go, hey, why did you throw this flag? Answer for this. I have to answer for my job. Why don't I have to answer for their
Players
job?
do, coaches do.
Yeah.
I mean, some players do the dumbest things, and they have to go out on that table and get reamed and
Unless
answer
you're-
for it.
unless you're crybaby Caleb, and then you just go home.
I don't know. I just
No, it is.
on a broader thing. I don't understand it personally. People, they got to be impartial. They can't. What are you talking about? Impartial. What happened out there raises questions. Sometimes the calls refs make raise some massive questions
Like, why the hell did you make that
in
call?
the NFL and in college ball. And
But see, where it does surprise me, like I said, everyone's calling for so much transparency now with the players
crap.
and people and the NIL and now with gambling and betting and all that stuff. Why don't the refs have to answer for this stuff? Because they can have huge impacts on the games. They do have huge impacts on the games most of the time. And they should then be able to establish consistency. If you've got a ref that's always making calls like that, they should be fired. Again, people are talking about that ref, the head ref there on Saturday night was a Pac-12 ref. We've had him plenty
Shocker.
of times.
I swear 8th graders are in this chat tonight.
Stop looking at the dang chat,
They are.
Gary. I'm gonna just take it off.
No,
so
it's-
you
it's-
can't even see it.
Put it back up, Bryn.
Stop looking at the chat. But again, hey, Zoobs that are in the chat, stop acting like we're only talking
Start
about
acting
it
like a bunch of losers.
because
I mean,
it's
good
of this one game.
so weird.
Like we're saying, referees should have to answer for every game.
No wonder. No,
Oh.
It's an amazing group of people.
Oh, we're so classless. These classless Utah fans.
It's true. People
Oh,
said
yes.
hell, and I heard one person. They said in the stands. I even
Oh,
heard,
it's called a fetcher.
I know.
Gosh darn it,
Those
you
dang people.
I heard someone say
shoot.
ass, and I was like, not on my watch, buddy. Fan phoned him right out of the stadium.
Hey, guess what though? I heard a BYU fan say shit.
Oh no.
That was before the game even started. So guess what? It happens on both sides. I'm done with this. I want to move on and
Yeah, let's move on to this weekend.
oh boy, this is going to be great fun. If you need somewhere to watch the game this Saturday against Colorado, head to Bout Time Pub and Grub. They have locations all throughout the state of Utah. You can find the nearest or the location nearest you at bouttimepub.com. They have brunch every weekend from 10 a.m. to 2, which would come in handy this Saturday considering
I know.
our game is at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Holy cow.
They have mocktails and cocktail. Hey, they've got mocktails for those of you who are in the chat. Go get a mocktail. That sounds amazing. They are the place for all Utah Hockey Club games, both home and away. The Sandy location even has a dog-friendly patio, so check that out there.
I'll make a couple statements. Tell me what you
Oh
think.
boy. Okay. Oh, no.
No, what I'm saying here's look. I read and listen to a lot of people nationally. Okay. So this isn't just I'll start here about the Big 12 and then the Zoobs. Some have them ranked. I've seen guys with their polls, the Zoobs at 3 or at 4.
Nationally.
And I'm just saying, anybody who thinks the Zoobs are the 3rd or 4th best team in the nation,
Wait, I'm calling out John Hadley. He's actually being logical. Thank you. It shouldn't have been called in that situation. Thank you. A logical Zoob. Go ahead.
wow. Can we clip? Hey, screenshot that. Just there's one. There's one. The other thing is, if you BYU is not the 3rd or 4th best team in the United States of America. I'm sorry, Zoobs. And if you think you are, you're out of your freaking minds.
Well,
And you know why?
Of course they are.
We've established
And I'll say
that
why.
they-
Our experience of the last several years, teams we've played, like last year, when you think of Washington, Oregon State, Arizona of last year, not this year, the years before that, Oregon teams, SC teams, the bowl games we played in against Ohio State, Penn State, where they were ranked in the top 10, they would blow the Zoobs out of the water.
I'd love to see.
So my
Oregon
point
play
is
them.
thinking you're the 3rd best team or 4th best team is crazy. And I'll only say this, that if that's where college football is, then college football's dead because that was not the 4th or 3rd best team in the nation. Sorry to tell you.
Well, yeah, they're better than Utah. They won.
We-
Congratulations. But I
Yeah,
heard my
our
favorite
offense
quote.
sucks.
My favorite
Utah
quote from the
sucks
night.
this year.
Yeah, you're better than
You're
Utah
not-
by 1 point. We've lost 5 straight. We're not out of our minds to sit over here and be like, Utah's the greatest. No, we suck right
Yeah,
now.
offense. Okay, we don't.
This team's
we are,
awful.
but
My-
you're not what you
My
think you are.
favorite quote from the night, shout out Elise, said, both these teams suck. That's what she said.
Well,
And she's not wrong. It was not pretty. I've watched a ton of college football. We talked about this last week. They're undefeated. They've won the games they needed to win. They've been opportunistic. Good on you in all those situations. I'm not delusional enough to sit here and be like, they don't do great.
they're undefeated.
They're
so they
undefeated. You're
did-
number one in
yeah,
the
I mean, they've
conference.
won
You've
every game.
shocked everybody.
Yeah.
If I had a vote for Pac-12, Big 12 Coach of the Year, I would give it to Kalani. I think he's done an unbelievable job.
True.
All of those things being said, you're not a top 4 team. Top 12, okay. Maybe I can have that argument, but I'm with you. But now they're undefeated. They've done all the things that they're supposed to do. We will see. Fortunately, there's a big playoff coming up and championship games, a lot of football left. So we'll see. Prove me wrong, but man.
Well, they will be in the champion unless
Yeah.
they win the next or lose the next 3 games, which I don't.
And they probably won't.
I
Who
don't
knows?
see that happening, but who knows what will happen. But they will, Zubies, you'll likely be in the Big 12 championship game. I don't know who you're going to be playing, but that'll be interesting. And then in the playoffs,
Delusion time. See, the thing is, this is what fascinates me. Props to the Zoobs having a good year. Fine. They've been insignificant, have done nothing for years.
Since like 1993.
Okay. A bunch of people who are coming after us from Kansas.
That's weird.
Some Cincinnati.
Super weird.
Some guys at me from Iowa State.
Super
A bunch
weird.
of teams that have done squat, have not been on the national scene, have not been a big brand. Utah has been. I don't care what people want to say, because you're jealous of what Utah's done the last number of years. The Big 12, now that Texas and Oklahoma are gone, nobody has a right to say anything yet. They haven't done squat other than TCU. And Baylor? What did Baylor do? They get in the playoffs a few years ago.
They were good.
Okay.
Recently.
Nobody else has. And yet they're trashing Utah because we're down this year. It fascinates me that how myopic people are and how jealous they are of Utah. That's what it's all about. We'll be back.
well, let's talk about
That's going to be fun, too.
let's talk about our upcoming game.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
I'm saying, and the other thing I was going to say, I know that Zoobs are having a cow, but there's enough people saying that, yes, the Big 12 is down this year.
Yeah.
It is.
And again, it's not just us.
And Utah is a part of the down.
You think that like it's just this little bubble over Utah County that it's no,
Bubble.
listen to people outside of the state of Utah and you'll realize like, oh, it's not as great as we thought it might be. It's not a knock on you as an individual. I'm just saying it's not as good as we all thought it was going to be. And yes, Utah's part of that. We're not good. There's a lot of reasons for that. We're not sitting over here making excuses for any of it. We suck right now. So, great. You beat a sucky team by 1 point and actually should have lost to them. So, great.
If a Big 12 team, a Big 12 team will get to the playoffs, but if a Big 12 team is successful in the playoffs, then okay, we can go from there and they can have something to talk about. But as of right now,
Do people actually think BYU is better than Alabama?
Some do. Some people over
You
here
out of your
do.
minds.
Yeah.
Georgia?
Some people in here do.
we'll see what happens. Before we move on to this upcoming game, which is just so fun, we want to tell you about Be Neat Cleaning Company. And hey, even those of you who are living down in Utah County, you can benefit from this. Be Neat Cleaning Company, they are a local cleaning company here in Utah. They offer home cleaning, which can be weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. They can do commercial cleaning, move-in cleaning. Look them up at beneatcleaningco.com to schedule your free consultation. And if you even mention Utah Football Fans Podcast, you'll get $40 off your first house cleaning. So again, this is not exclusive to just Utah fans. Zubies, you can take advantage of this deal. Look up beneatcleaningco.com.
You get your apartment cleaned.
Get everything cleaned. They do a fantastic job. Their prices are amazing. I highly recommend. Again, look them up. They're great. Okay. We got to play Colorado on Saturday. 10 a.m. on Fox. We are the big noon kickoff game. So our favorite, Mr. Joel Klatt, I believe he will be calling that
That'll
game.
be great, seeing how he played quarterback at Colorado.
Yeah, well, he's pretty, Colorado.
I love Joel Klatt.
They're doing better than I thought they would.
They're playing really
They
well.
have improved significantly. Well, I'd say significantly from last year. To me, the biggest difference is that Shedeur is not getting sacked as much. He has changed that. He's improved that. I actually looked it up. So last year, which obviously we're not to the end of the season yet, but last year he was sacked 52 times, which is insane. He almost broke the record for sacks in a season of a quarterback getting sacked. So far, he's been sacked 28 times. So I don't think he's going to get
Still a lot.
It's still a lot, but compared to what he was last year, I do think he's gotten better at getting rid of the ball faster, and just not taking those sacks. This game is going to be rough. That's how I look at it. So they average 32.4 points per game. They average 320 passing yards per game. They only average 78 rushing yards per game.
They don't run. They don't run the ball ever.
They don't run the ball.
The thing for me on this game, here's my fear. The BYU Utah game, we had a bye week before. Everything went into that game, and it was right there to be won, and then it's taken away from you. And any program, any team, when it was right there against your rival to get back on track and finish the season really, really strongly, and it's gone, how do you respond to that? That's where now you have to go on the road against a very good, very improved Colorado team. I'm with you. I've been very surprised. I think everybody has been. Their D is better than I expected it to be, and their O-line's a lot better than I expected it to be. And then you've got Travis Hunter, who's a Heisman candidate, and Shedeur, who's a first-round pick quarterback. Yeah, on the road at 10 a.m., it doesn't add up to a whole lot of positivity from this side of the table. If I'm just being honest.
Okay. It's either we have a change. If it's deja vu again, then yeah, we have no shot. Unless the offense can somehow miraculously be a bit different.
There's a lot of people, by the way, saying that there's rumors of Rose being out for the rest of the year. I have not seen these, that he's got a foot injury. None of this has been confirmed.
I don't believe.
No, but it's Utah fans.
So if someone's saying it, give us a reference.
If there's a source, please tell us.
Say it.
But if that's the case, that's really sucks for him because he had flashes of looking very promising. And my hope would be, please don't be hurt.
You're just saying that.
Of course, Bart will put out a cryptic tweet. Does he ever tweet something that's not cryptic?
So pathetic, man.
Just tweet it, dude. I'm hearing something.
It's like I'm the master of the universe,
man. I would hope at this point, if Rose is healthy, go out and just sling it. At this point, what is there to lose? See what you've got in the guy, right? Go out and throw the ball 180 times a game. Who cares at this point? But if he's hurt, and yeah, he is engagement farming.
Gary, you said if somehow our offense is not going to miraculously all of a sudden be able to score points. It is what
Colorado's
it is.
defense is not great.
Yes, but Colorado is going to score plenty.
How many points did you say they score average per game?
32.4.
That's less than the BYU's been averaging.
Well, but
are
they favored? They should be favored.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they're favored.
I don't know what.
It's at home. It's a morning kickoff, which we never perform well.
Thanks, Utah Utes coverage.
But here's what I'll say is they do not run the ball. So it becomes very one-dimensional. Okay. Our D-line was improved this week. You cannot say it was not. They got a ton of pressure. So the D-line
Karine Reed is a
monster. He's back. He's healthy. He's the guy. So again, this is going to be a copy paste. It's going to come down. The defense is going to perform. We're going to be in the game late. Can the offense do something? Colorado's defense is not BYU's defense. BYU's defense is a legit defense. Jay Hill's doing really good things there. So the opportunity's there. My biggest fear, like I said, did the wheels fall off because of Saturday night?
Yeah.
That's where the
emotional thing we'll see.
The emotion of
it. And now you lost.
And we have 3 games to go, and it's our.
I think their offense is a lot better than BYU's offense.
Statistically, it's not though. That's what surprises me.
Well,
but
yes, I watched the games.
Yeah. Put them down.
Their receivers
are all NFL.
They've got 3 or 4 freaking receivers that are really good. That's the problem. So you have Hunter, who is really tough, and then Horn's really good, and they got I don't know the other names, but 1 or 2 other guys that are really fast and are making a difference. That stretches you out.
Yeah.
So unless we can get to Shedeur, then we're going to have no shot defensively.
Agreed.
That's a fact. We'll see. I think our D can stack up, but you can't be on the field the whole
The other
game.
thing is, if with Shedeur, He loves to extend plays. So if you get an opportunity to take him down, you got to do it. Because if he gets out on you, that's when they hit a 70-yard pass.
Well, it's going to happen. I mean, that's the thing. It's going to happen. We're not going to prevent that the entire game because that's what they do. Yeah.
He didn't run at all.
No, I'm not. But BYU had the one drive where they went the whole field and scored their touchdown. And we're not going to stop Colorado.
I'm not saying that we're not going to stop them.
No,
they're going to put up points.
Stop them because that's their MO. Passing it, slinging it. I mean, that's the thing. And then Hunter goes up and makes these
insane catches.
Yeah.
I'm with you. And you know what? I'm not saying though that it's impossible. They're not better than the team we just played on Saturday. It's just different. Matchups are such a variable. Who knows?
Somebody made the comment, let's just have Batari play because he's the Buffalo killer.
Yeah, why not? That'd be so funny.
Just throw